paper, he will choose one because he has wide choice. Sometimes he ensures that generally also he is clubbing. What we are doing now is from the point of view of teacher, how teacher uses the teaching aid to make the teaching more effective. So first one, as per Confucius, there is a great saying which says that whatever you just hear, you just forget. So the retention is only for 50% of the time, but whatever you see, you find that yes, I should remember it for a longer period of time. Retention is 70%, but whatever you do, that you will retain permanently. So that's what the focus of teaching aids is. Teaching aids are also called as instructional aids, supplementary aids for teachers. To make the teaching more effective, you can use any one of this method which is displayed in order to make your topic more effective and more interesting. First one, what are the benefits of this teaching aid? Why do you think we should use when we are going for lecture method, or if you are coming in the middle, you can just move little bit. Benefits of teaching aids. So the first thing is it has a motivational effect. Why we use teaching aids? Because most of the children get, as soon as they come to the class, they are in a distorted way. They come from different setup, different backgrounds. So to motivate them into the picture of whatever you are teaching, it is one form of teaching aids, because everybody is eager to come when you are showing them a picture, when you are trying to dramatize. Think when a role play is given to you, you are so excited to come to class to do that role play. So it is quite motivational effect. Second one, this would be your 2 marker. It would supplement and complement your verbal information. Teaching aid is not absence of teaching. If you, some teachers, what they do, they prepare teaching aids or model, they come and display it, and then afterwards, simply seeing with eye what they will understand. So next step of the teacher is, after using the teaching aid, you supplement it. Supplement your information with the charts or with the projectors or with the informations, and then complement it with your verbal information, because always it is voice which has more effect. Right? If somebody uses the reaction of fingers or the reaction of eyes, that has very less effect. Same thing if it is done with orally, that has more impact. So always your teaching aid should be supplemented and it should be complemented with verbal information. Orally, teacher must speak. It gives you a clear image. Whatever orally it is told, if you complement it with images of chart or images of a bulletin board, images of a magnetic board, take them on a field trip, whatever you do, but it will give a clarity of image. The image would be very clear. Now for example, if you just keep on telling the rose is red, apple is red, the traffic light is red, instead display it that red color. Wherever they see, they will know, this is the red, and they will try to have that image with the other objects. Similarly, ensure that it is having a variety and it is based on your teaching maxims. As we said, teaching maxims are, it should be experimental, it should be very vivid, it should be clear. You should develop that whatever the textual matter is there, you should break down into concrete objects. So you have to make your teaching aids also based on that. Don't think, oh now I am teaching particularly for example geography, and it is about one state, and that full state you put on a chart and say that, see, I have used teaching, I have done that chapter, because see, chart it is showing everything. But that should have, it is based on your teaching maxim. Today if you are teaching only agriculture of Karnataka, then the chart should have display of only cropping pattern of agriculture, compare it with other states, and then the objectives. This slide only that should be there. You cannot give agriculture, industries, culture and everything. Children will think, they will look at everything than what you are teaching. Because always we are interested in the other thing than what is happening. Grass is always green on the other side. Children are also like that. Similarly, catering to individual difference. Teaching aid should not ensure that it is complementing your teaching. It should complement the individual difference. Some children like what the teacher is telling, hearing they like. Some will only look at, some will like both. So as individual differences are there, you should ensure that it caters to those individual difference. Use lot of color sketches, use lot of display methods in the form of bar graph or pie chart. Last time if you have prepared a curve, dotted one, this time you go for something relating to bar graph. Same thing if you prepare the, okay, today also it is same. That interest will diminish. To pep up that interest, ensure that individual difference is created. Healthy classroom atmosphere, flexibility in learning. One more big benefit of teaching aid is it provides healthy classroom environment. Otherwise classroom environment would be dull, it would be boring. Children would just fold their hands, keep on listening. Just track back 15 years back how education system was. With that big bag we used to go sit in the class and then fold our hands, look at what the teacher is telling, half information we understand, half we are distracted. Instead, develop a healthy classroom habit. Either use a whiteboard, smart board, charts, bring lot of cuttings from newspapers. That is why we are telling teachers' role does not end by your being successful in UGC NET. It starts from there. Then every day you have to ensure that you keep the classroom atmosphere very alive and healthy. Flexibility in learning. Ensure that if they don't understand what you are trying to tell. See, everybody's tone, diction is not same. Sometimes certain words are there which are better seen and understood, particularly mathematical concepts. Even if teacher says it is the square root is this, or it is 2 into x, or x square, x cube, we will not understand. Oh, x to the power 3, then only he is saying x cube, or she is saying it is x square. So, whatever you are trying to do, ensure that flexibility in learning. Ultimately, the big benefit is retention and reinforcement. Previously, even nowadays also you have, the full classroom is decorated with charts, particularly science, language labs, everything. It is because every time you see, you notice there is great personality, or you notice a thought, you notice one experiment. Previously, you never did experiments also. So, those will have lot of retention. Those will have reinforcement, practice. Tables particularly they used to display. Some children, they are very much interested, they come stand near that chart, or they are near that board, or that cutting which you have pasted, they keep on by hearting it. Little they learn, but it is reinforcement. It is quite creative. Every student will think, oh, they have done the chart today, let me also do. They may not be good at it, but still they will make a try. It brings out the creativity or talent which they may have, right? These are the big advantages of teaching aids. More than the teaching aids, these advantages supplement the teacher. You are not doing this from students' point of view. You are doing it from teacher's point of view, because these are not teaching aids for the teacher. These are instructional aids. First thing we said, reinforcement, instruction is a part of teaching. Orally you cannot tell them, suggestion, advice, students don't want. They want something which can supplement your teaching. Educational technology has two approaches. Now modern day technology, we are trying to use more, instead of this paper method, we are trying to use in form of technology. First approach is hardware approach. Here you can reach more number of students and the cost is very less. Suppose if the management buys 3-4 systems through which you can show them those displays through smart boards, then more students can reach. Along with that, it is less cost. Investment is only once. Here it could be in the form of a film projector. Film projectors were very common during those times also, even 20 years back. Recently we have epidoscope, overhead projector with those incandescent lamps. Slide share is quite common. Radio. The radio mostly it is in rural areas. We have that is semi-urban towns, schools, we have radios, film projectors and all. City schools mostly go with epidoscope, overhead projectors, smart boards. These are quite common, because they can reach large students and they feel investment cost is once and less cost it is. More understanding is possible. Second is software approach. Here they use psychological principles given by Skinner. Skinner always stressed on that. F.B. Skinner was a big psychologist. He said that whatever you do condition and whatever you repeat it, it will be even for a dog or even for a cat, right? Condition. Skinner's approach, you know, and that Freud also, psychologist. First we will see dog, condition, practice makes a man perfect, and how they will repeatedly do based on the software psychological principles. He told the dog that as soon as the bell is given, the dog should come and eat from the bowl. He practiced into that. He gave the food to the dog very fully. The dog's belly was full. He gave the bell again. Again what did the dog do? It quickly ran and came and looked at the bowl which is kept there. So it is conditioning. How your approach is, based on that, those principles, psychology it is. Every time after the chapter, if the teacher is taking test, the student prepares at home. Conditionally, next chapter you do, the student is ready with the test syllabus. So it is conditioning based on the dog psychology, cat psychology, Skinner's only. No, don't think we are comparing them with students. He is telling that when animals who do not have the sixth sense are able to adopt these principles of psychology, We are human beings. They need more number of times. For you, particularly students, you require less number of times to practice. Only teachers should understand that I should reinforce it to ensure that the software approach is fully used. Similarly, cat, they kept the cat in a box. Made one, did not open. The cat went on banging all the 4 directions. It could not come. Then they made a hole on one side. The cat kicked it and it know there is a pathway here. Now the cat was relaxed because it has discovered the way to come out. So it was able to come out within, as soon as you keep the cat and cover the box, cat pushed that side and came out. So it is that way out is searched by them. It means every student will find out solutions to their own problems. You just give them what it is and give them the clue to solve it. Just like you have given a clue to the cat, if you push it here, it can open. Similarly, this conditioning ensures that what all you use. First thing, learning strategies should be different. Last batch you have adopted that, this batch will not be same. You cannot say last time they did well, they scored 101, so you also scored. They will not. You have to ensure that learning strategies should be different for each type of batch. Mainly for this type, you use books, different varieties of books. Particularly, last class we have used for paper 1, Arihant. Okay, this time we are using NTA UGC net. Next time we will use some other book because it is based on what new adaptations they have added. You cannot say, what is there? 2 only new, from that 2 only 1 would come. So your books should change. Educational games and flashcards. Nowadays this is very common. Make them, games does not mean that make them run around in the ground. Previously how it used to be? Whenever there is a free, the teacher is absent, immediately all will run to the ground. Mindlessly, without aim, they keep on running. Anyway, it's a physical activity, they allowed. But nowadays it is educational games. They are motivating them to sit in the class and play a variety of educational games itself, like quiz. It could be a debate, it could be a small talk for 2 minutes, giving away the prizes. It is a form of motivating them. Flashcards, newspaper cuttings are common in language labs. Today language or literature is incomplete without newspaper cutting. Even journalists you take. How you will explain them? 100 times you explain them how to produce a topic, they will not get. Bring a newspaper cutting. Newspaper cutting has, particularly if you are teaching report writing, right? To write a report, it's not necessary the teacher should use the hundreds of grammar books and Renan Martin into the classroom to teach. Not necessary. Show a paper cutting where a newspaper report about an accident or an incident is given. Right? It clearly reflects the date where it is to be written, who has written it, and what is the heading of that. Done. The child next time when they write that report card, full 10 marks is in their pocket because they know how to copy paste it. And then you can tell them how to start with. They will check. You can underline those things which I have given in the newspaper report. The place of the accident or the place of incident, the date when the incident has occurred, the time it has occurred, and how it has occurred. Then what happened after that. Give what is the end result of that, give a conclusion for that. Now there is lot of accidents on the new constructed aerial route, say for example on the way to airport. What is the solution? ND you can give. After reading the report they will know, oh, what is the solution? Each one will give. One will say keep a police constable, one will say keep a police check post, other will say keep a speed breaker, keep a speed limit. So many options have come. Immediately next day you can see there will be a report that this particular aerial route has been kept. So the answer has come from them only. So these type of software approaches which you adopt in teaching will help them to learn better. That's one. Now as per census, these are all what you have done. Yesterday only we have done incidental report. That's why we gave that example only. So as per census, if you see, audio and visual aid. If you take audio, it's only listening to only hearing. In that case of audio, 50% learning only is done because you only hear and you don't see anything. Imagine no charts are displayed, no book is used and no teaching aid is used and only the teacher keeps on lecturing. What the student do? They just hear and only retain 50%. This type, but any audio is a part of language labs, particularly in case of radio. They just play an audio. How exam is conducted for mostly, you have IELTS exam where listening is done. So where they play the audio and then you have to keep on making. How good you are a keen listener. That habit is developed from the audio visuals which the teacher is implementing in the classroom. Nothing you can teach the students new. Why so many failures are there who are not able to clear those competitive exams or those, because right from the beginning we have not adopted to the teaching methods. Always we are distracted. Even in listening, if you see 40 questions are there, those 4 sections. 1 minute also, second also you move away, you will lose that blank. So keen a listener. So that if you are habituated in classroom, immediately we are habituated here. Second one, visual aids. Visual aids are more creative, particularly flashcards, charts. How small children are taught? Through flashcards. Whenever you say take out B, they will come run and pick out B. It gets, they are able to retain. One more, it is more creative. Each child will get a chance to see whether they are able to pick out the right one. Flashcards also display, even to call somebody also you display flashcards. So it's the best form of visual aid. Maps, models, photographs. Now for example, if you are trying to teach in history about Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. Why you like Shah Jahan? Jahangir you want, very cruel ruler, but it's okay. We will take a universal ruler, Akbar. Okay, fine. So if you say for example whether it's Akbar or Shah Jahan or Jahangir, all of them are Mughal rulers. To display what are their characters, these 3 pics, you can just present them in the form of photographs and show it. They will recollect it more faster. It's not necessary, we are telling about Akbar, Jahan, all of them are Mughal rulers. Most of the characteristics are same. They are all into construction, architecture, rule is same. Only this is the Nilai, this is Taj Mahal, and Jahangir is a cruel ruler. Or if you are showing Aurangzeb, the last Mughal ruler, whatever it is. So everything is same. Their characteristic features are same. Only display, how they will retain is through the photographs, through the maps which you are showing, whichever the places they have occupied. So this audio-visual aid make the teaching more lively. Children will be able to retain, which is the ultimate objective of your teaching. Your instructional objective, teaching is made easier. No need to, because some will go deep in thought to think how Shah Jahan was, who constructed Taj Mahal, or how cruel Aurangzeb was. Why to allow them to go to the other world? When you display, they will keep on looking at it. Next, there are 2 types of aids which are reflection in your teaching. One is projected aids, other is non-projected aids. If you come to this projected aids, these are common things which have been previously used. If you take films, during those times there was no theatres. So what used to do, they used to put the white screen, white board or the transparent one, and then they used to beam. So through the projector it is very easy for them to show. Similarly slides, single slides. Then teacher thought that small board, it was very difficult. If you have to make that big, you need a very big space. Many schools did not have that. So what they used to do, they used to have a small space where they have a small board. They used to make slides with that transparent paper. Transparent sheets were there, na? Then they used to insert this. What they used to do, if you want to today, your topic heading is there and then this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 advantages. Remove this slide, take it out. Then keep slide 2, disadvantages. Remove this, keep features. Particularly when you are doing business organization. How do they do? Slides only we can use. We do not do business organization. We do not have business. Types of firms. Or say for example instrumentation and communication. Tools if you have to display. Say for example a meager screwdriver. All its advantage, disadvantage. Remove it. Right, and then you can use chisel. All advantages. Remove that slide. Suppose if a student says, oh I did not understand that screwdriver and this, what you can do, you can project both the side simultaneously. So this slide system was very common because where film projectors failed. Then you have overhead projectors, and this is also quite common. Most of them, those who have a very big classroom and where they are keeping on changing, particularly where strength is more, in those you use overhead projector. But the 2 marker which you will get is epidoscope. Epidoscope is where self-learning is made. Epidoscope or opaque projector, or it is also called as episcope. Question would be, what is that projected aid which is made with this shining bright object and the student can learn themselves? Then it is epidoscope. Or a straight away question one year they asked, suddenly it was. They said, epidoscope is part of which teaching aid? Suddenly they did not know. They know it is a part of teaching aid. Many did not know even epidoscope is a part of teaching aid. They thought it is some science object which they are asking. It is from people and environment they thought. But no, it was from teaching methodology. Okay. So that could be one. Here it is for self-learning. particularly when they are showing that stomata, when they are showing those leaves, how they are food factory of the plant. So they will say, view it very clearly. Everybody you cannot give one leaf. Instead, you can use epidoscope, and where you can allow them to see clearly, particularly minerals. Class where this mining, gem technology is advocated. Gemology is an institute, there how do they do?